Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2. I think I grew like 5 different grey hairs just watching that. That was stressful for me. I thought this was going to be another case of we were the better team and we still didn't get the result we deserve. Well, regardless, the stress is over. Arsenal got the 3 points, justifiably so. And keep in mind, we played against the best defence in the league, going at a low block against us, and we still scored twice. Think about that for a second. What I saw today was absolute positivity. Even when we went 1-0 down, we were still going for it. Yes, I was kind of yelling at them and I was criticising them. But at least, barest minimum, they had that mentality in them. They had a winner's mentality. 1-0 down. Then they ended up getting a corner, putting it away. 1-1. But that wasn't a case of just stop going for it. No, we went for it again. We went for it again and again, and we got that second goal. That is absolute justice to me. I mean, I'm still not over it. I've taken a moment to kind of just sit down, calm down a little bit, get it out my system. The realization still hasn't sunk in. But regardless, what I have to say is that disgusting low block that they tried to pull on us didn't work. When we went 1-1, I wasn't really concerned about conceding again. They put on too many defensive players. They went too defensive minded after a long while. But as they say, champions find a way. And even if we're not yet champions, we've proven that we've got a mentality about us to at least try and find a way. Now, I have to say one thing as well. Gabriel, I gave him stick. I gave him some serious stick conceding that goal. And I have to give Mosquera a bit of stick as well and say Mosquera, he also has to have a bit of stick in it, but mostly Gabriel. And I say that because it looked like to me he went down far too easily. But saying that, he redeemed himself. He absolutely redeemed himself. Getting that second goal, securing us the late winner, we love to see it. It still hasn't sunk in. It still hasn't sunk in. But now we're right back in the mix now. Liverpool dropped points. Liverpool dropped points against Crystal Palace, and we've gained all 3 points over at St. James's. Now, more than ever, we're back in this race. We're straight back into this. I wouldn't say it's in our hands yet. It could have been if we got a better result against either Liverpool or Man City, both of which were there for the taking. But saying all this, we're right back into this race now. We're back into the race, and it's not necessarily in our favour, but it's in our hands. Liverpool could drop another 2 points again, and as long as we get those 3 points next time, as long as we get those 3 points, we can be ahead of the game. Now, what I will say about how we played in general, and more so about Arteta really. Mikel Arteta actually listened to the fans. He listened to the fans, and he's put Eze in his natural attacking position. We just look so different in that midfield with Eze, and Eze deserves so much credit. I'm trying to think now who actually deserves man of the match, because I'm not sure. I think Eze definitely deserves a shout. I think for me personally, it's between Eze and Gabriel. But I've made my decision, and I'll let you know later on. But the way that Mikel Arteta, the way that he listened to the fans and actually took the handbrakes off, the fact that he actually did that, and we got a result from it. And you can argue, but you know, he only got the result because of corners, and yes, but at the same time, we earned those corners by consistently adding up pressure. Now, with Eberechi Eze, he did impress me quite a lot. There was very little he actually did wrong in that game. But it goes to show we needed that kind of player in that midfield if we really wanted to unlock that attacking side. But for now, let's move on to the player ratings, and starting in goal, I'm gonna say, what am I saying? I'm gonna say starting in goal, David Raya. There wasn't much he could have really done about that goal we conceded. Other than that, though, I don't think he did too much wrong. Maybe his distribution could have been a bit better. Other than that, however, 0 complaints. I'm going to give him a 7. Now, Urian Timber, what have I done there? Whoops. Sorry, I think I've started the thing up. There we go. Urian Timber. Now, Urian Timber, I thought he had a brilliant game, personally. There's not much to really say about him, other than he's one of the reasons why we only conceded 1 goal. Let's be honest, they were knocking at the door a fair few times, but when Timber was involved, he was like a brick wall. Almost nothing got past him. I'm going to give him a 7.5. Christian Mosquera. Now, I'm going to be a bit harsh on this one, because yes, I did think he had an okay-ish game, but that one moment where we conceded the corner, and that corner in particular being the one to cost us the goal, I do have to be a bit harsh on that. And I know he's young, but I'm going to be absolutely brutally honest. I'm going to give him a 5. Now, let me get rid of that. Now, Gabriel. This one's going to be a bit up for debate here, because I can see it as two ways. On one way, he did make that mistake. He was very weak when it came down to challenging that header that ultimately we conceded from. He was quite weak on that. I thought he could have stood up, really, but it looked almost like he was looking for the foul there. But on the other hand, he scored the last-minute winner, and what a header it was. I'm a bit torn on this, to be honest, but I think, look, people make mistakes, and he absolutely redeemed himself from it. So I'll be nice, and I'll give him a 7. Now, Ricardo Calafiori. I thought Ricardo Calafiori, okay performance. I think he was quite strong in that area. I think probably the highlight for his game, really, was when he tried to grab the towel, and the referee took it off of him. I thought that was hilarious, personally, but other than that, mostly quiet day. He kept, who was that player? Murphy? Is that his name? He kept Murphy relatively at bay. Ricardo Calafiori, I'll give him a 6. Now, moving on to the midfield, and we're going to start off with Martin Zubimendi. Look, getting into that kind of position, the way that we were, and he was kind of trying to control that midfield. It's a hard thing to really do, especially against Newcastle, who I think are really good looking when it comes down to their midfield. But they overall, Zubimendi, very meh day in the office. I didn't think he did particularly amazing, but he didn't do horrible either. I'm going to give him a 6. Now, Declan Rice. What do I say about Declan Rice? I mean, I thought some of his crossing in, some of his corners could have been better. But for the most part, he did very well putting them into dangerous positions. Highly unlucky to have only really gotten 1 assist. Was he the one who assisted? I think he was. Hang on. Delivering the gunner's crucial equaliser. Okay, so he set up the thing. Okay, yeah. Overall, I will give him... I'll be nice, I'll give him a 7. Eberechi Eze. Now, Eberechi Eze, I thought absolutely bossed it in that midfield. He gets the ball, and even when it looks like he's about to lose it, he still holds on to it. Or at the very least, he lays it onto another Arsenal player. Didn't really lose the ball as much as the others. But I will say with Eberechi, the way that he glides past some players, that is something we've been lacking for the longest time. And watching a player do that, I'm absolutely thrilled to have a player like that. Eberechi is getting an 8, and Eberechi is my man of the match. Now, on to the attack. Bukayo Saka. I thought he had a decent game, if I'm being honest. He had a lot of bright movements. He did try to get past them. I thought he looked dangerous when going forward for the most part, but I still think he could have done a bit more in that game. I'll give him a 7. Now, Leandro Trossard. That bloody post hit is going to haunt me. I thought that's the moment we could have gone 1-0 up and hit the bloody post. But that's the only thing that I can really remember with Leandro Trossard. I'll give him a 6. Victor Gyökeres. Now, Victor Gyökeres, he actually had a fair few chances today. And normally my excuse for him has always been like, oh, he's just, he's not getting the ball. Or today I thought he had a fair few chances that he just couldn't put away. But I do think he had a presence there, but ultimately he could have done better. 6 out of 10. But anyways, that's my match review for Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. What are you waiting for? Thank you, and I'll be seeing you for the match review for... Let me bring it up. For Arsenal versus Olympiacos. Thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you there.